Ready, Ross?
And we welcome you in live to the Unrivaled Postgame Show live from Evanston, Illinois. There's a look at Beaver Stadium. Brian Tripp, and we're joined by running back Trey Potts right off the start as Penn State defeats Northwestern by a 41-13 final score today. And Trey, your team was able to come from behind and win this football game. What did you learn about your team out there having to come from behind for the first time this year?
It was ironic. Last night we talked about adversity hitting, and adversity definitely hit today. Defense, they stepped up and they went crazy today. So it gave us our offense a chance to, get our bearings back, bounce back, and complete the job.
Knowing that you go into that locker room at halftime and it's a 10-10 football game, what was the message that coach delivered at halftime to your team?
It's 0-0. The first half is over with, so we got to make our adjustments and go out there, start fast and finish strong. So that's really was the message.
And it all started in that middle eight, and then your offense started to find its rhythm. What did you like about the offense as it started to find its rhythm in the game?
I think we just went back to the basics, got our bearings, and we felt like we were the better team overall, and we just came together as a unit and just kept pushing each play.
Your stats today: 3 carries, 21 yards, and a touchdown. Then the 30-yard touchdown reception at the end from quarterback Bo Perbula. You came to Penn State for opportunities like this. What did it mean to make the most of that opportunity wearing the blue and white?
It meant so much. My family was here. It felt great. My number was called, so that's just been how I was raised and how I've been attacking every day at Penn State. So, that it just felt great.
We're watching that touchdown run right there, and that made it a 10-10 game late in the second quarter. And then you had your touchdown reception at the end of the game, getting up and celebrating right there with Olu in the end zone. Take me through this run, Trey.
It was outside zone to the right. They kind of flowed hard. The safety came down. He tried to make a play, made a miss, and just got vertical and got the touchdown.
Had to be nice celebrating with all those Penn State fans there as well. And here's the reception at the end. Take us through this one.
Sam came down, bluffed him. It was wide open in the seam, and Bo threw a good ball. And it was over after that.
And you see the celebration there in the end zone with Caden Saunders, the offensive line, getting involved as well in what is a 41-13 Penn State victory here today on the road at Northwestern. And there's going to be, this from playing in the Big Ten for a long time, there's going to be those moments when adversity hits. What is it about the mentality of your football team, the leadership, where you guys aren't disturbed when something may not go right?
Yeah, we play in the Big Ten. It's Power 5 football. Every game you got to be on your P's and Q's. So just as a unit, we all got each other's back, open communication, and just supporting each other. And if it's a bad play, we get up and attack the next one. So that's just how we attack it as a unit.
And it's always nice not having to go against your defense out there. Your defense had 12 tackles for loss, 7 sacks in this football game, and they continue to set the offense up in great positions playing complementary football. How much fun is it when you're on the sideline to see what your defense is doing?
I love it. How they play defense is different. Like those dudes is different. They're out there making plays, flying around, talking their talk. I love it. So it's just a great a feeling to have them on my side. So
yeah, no doubt about that. I'm sure it's not fun going against them every day in practice.
I mean, we compete. We got our wins, but it's definitely one of them.
Well, Trey, congratulations on the victory. A road win in the Big Ten, and do it by a 41-13 final score. Congratulations on a great game. Thanks so much.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Trey Potts, Penn State running back, joining us here post-game as the Nittany Lions defeat Northwestern by a 41-13 final score. Penn State improves to 5-0 on the season, 3-0 in the Big Ten. Penn State will head into its bye week next week before returning home for homecoming to take on UMass in the Generations of Greatness game. As we wait for a couple of our other guests coming up here on the Unrivaled Postgame Show live from Evanston, Illinois. Chime in, let us know where you're watching from today. We know Nittany Nation, they were loud here at Ryan Field, but we know you're watching at home as well. Let us know where you were watching from. We'll go through some of the numbers for this game. I was talking about that Penn State defense. I mean, just an incredible job by that Penn State defense today. Northwestern, when it was third down, their average third down was 9.7 yards per third down. They had 8 drives of 4 plays or less, 12 tackles for loss, 7 sacks, and 8 players on Penn State. We're back here in the back hallway. You can hear some of the stuff rumbling on through here post-game. 8 players with at least a half sack in the game. Zane Durant, Kobe King, Denai Dennis Sutton, Amin Vanover, Keon Wiley with his first career sack, Zariah Fisher, Adisa Isaac, and Keziah Izzard all getting into the backfield and wreaking havoc. KJ Winston led the team. You can see that run support coming up from the secondary time and time again. 5 tackles, 4 solo today. Another great day for Dom DeLuca. 4 tackles. Many of those came on special teams. Zane Durant and Kobe King as well played a terrific middle linebacker for Penn State. They held Northwestern to 45 rush yards, continued their turnover streak by getting a turnover there late in the game on a perfectly thrown ball right to Daquan Hardy along the sideline. He had Penn State's interception in that game, but you can just see the way the defensive line pressured the quarterback, end up knocking Ben Bryant out of the football game for Northwestern, and they're able to control the line of scrimmage, and that's that physicality that we saw carry over from last week's game against Iowa. In fact, we've seen that throughout the course of the entire season for Penn State, but a very convincing 41-13 final score today for the Nittany Lions. Again, they went on a 38-3 run. They scored 38 of the last 41 points after trailing 10-3 in this football game. Final yards, Penn State 353 yards. Northwestern just 175 yards. Northwestern averaged only 2.8 yards per play in this game, and Penn State's defense continues to set the tone, and that defense allowed, as we just heard from Trey Potts, the opportunity to settle into the game as Penn State defeats Northwestern. And we take a look at some of the offensive numbers here from this game by a 41-13 final score day. We'll go through that offensive box score. Drew Aller, 18 of 33, 189 yards, 1 touchdown. Still no turnovers for Drew Aller in this game. Bo Perbula 1 for 1 with his 30-yard touchdown pass to Trey Potts. Nicholas Singleton, 21 carries, 80 yards and a touchdown. Katron Allen, 6 carries, 27 yards, along of 6 yards for him. Trey Potts, 3 carries, 21 yards and a touchdown. Aller also had a touchdown on the ground. Keandre Lambert-Smith also carried the ball 1 time today for Penn State. Nicholas Singleton actually led Penn State in the receiving game. 6 receptions, 39 yards, 1 touchdown. Keandre Lambert-Smith, 4 catches for 86 yards. Tyler Warren, 2 catches, 25 yards. Dante Sivas, 2 for 21. Theo Johnson, 2 for 13. Potts, that 30-yard touchdown catch. Liam Clifford and Caden Saunders also on the receiving end of passes today from Drew Aller. And, of course, Bo Perbula with the touchdown pass at the end of the football game. So you're joining us live for the Unrivaled post-game show, live here from Evanston, Illinois. We'll have no Unrivaled weekly preview show coming up this week, and then we'll get back into the action preparing for the UMass game when Penn State returns home with a non-conference matchup, the final non-conference game of the year before jumping back into Big Ten play. What has been a terrific start to the season so far. There you look at your Penn State football theme games for the 2023 season. The helmet stripe game in the books against West Virginia. Incredible atmosphere that night. Same against every game so far. A Thon Day, Spirit Day against Delaware. Of course, the whiteout against Iowa. And I think a lot of the questions coming into this game was how would Penn State respond on the road? 11 a.m. Central kickoff, and you have to go on the road in front of a smaller crowd, create that energy, try to get off to a fast start after playing a very physical and a very emotional game at home against Iowa. And you saw the rest of the great promotions coming up the rest of the year. We still have the Stripe Out coming up, what should be a great season at Beaver Stadium. Looks like a pretty nice day there at Beaver Stadium. Military Appreciation Day against Indiana, the Stripe Out against Michigan. That's going to be a noon kick. And then All U Day and Senior Day against Rutgers on November 18th. Let's go through some of the scoring plays from this game as we wait for our next guest here on the Unrivaled post-game show. And here, this is Trey Potts. We just talked to him moments ago with a great run off the right side. Again, transfer in from Minnesota. He is from Williamsport, and the local product getting into the end zone in a big spot for Penn State to tie the game. Coach Franklin always talks about the middle 8 and how important that is. And this Penn State's first drive of the second half. And there it is, the brotherly shove, the tush push. Drew Aller getting into the end zone. No one's going to sidetrack that Nittany Lion offense. Penn State goes in front by a 17-10 score. Penn State again goes on a 38-3 run in the second half. Here's Nick Singleton in the flat, again involved in that passing game today. Beautiful touch on that ball from Aller. Gets it out to Singleton, walks in for the touchdown. Penn State goes up by 3 scores at that point, a 3-possession game. Penn State up by 17, 27-10. Nittany Lions on their way to improving to 5-0 on the season, and most importantly 1-0 this week. And just great play design there. Penn State was so physical. They're really pushing at the line of scrimmage. They're trying to dominate inside, and then things really opened up for Penn State as the game went on. And there is the other touchdown to Trey Potts in the end zone. Penn State wins it by a 41-13 final score today here in Evanston. We're about to be joined by defensive line coach Dion Barnes here post-game on the Unrivaled post-game show. Talk about that Penn State defense again. 12 tackles for loss, 7 sacks, and Penn State forcing, again, that Northwestern offense to play from behind the sticks all day long, as Penn State's defense was tenacious at the line of scrimmage, and again, getting after the quarterback, Ben Bryant. And this is a guy who knows how to get after the quarterback, playing here at Penn State. So we're joined now by defensive line coach Dion Barnes. And Coach, we just talked earlier in the week about the emotion of the whiteout, and it seemed like the team, especially defensively, was able to set the tone with that emotion again out here on the field today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I mean, the guys, we got one goal in mind. Is to try to dominate every man that's in front of us. I mean, the home crowd helps us, but on every single day that we out here, we're trying to make sure that we're giving our all. Mm-hmm. And then if we could dominate the person in front of us, we're going to do it. And that's what we set out to do every week.
How impressed were you with the play of the defensive line, setting the tone along the line of scrimmage? I know with the 3 layers of that defense, linebackers, defensive backs, they're involved in making some of those plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage, but 12 tackles for loss, 7 sacks, that's a pretty impressive number.
Yes, sir. I mean, that's the standard. That's what I'm expecting on every week. So, I mean, nothing but that is acceptable. So that's what we strive for on every week, and that's why we practice the way we practice.
I know you're going to love this number right here. At least 8 players. 8 players had at least a half of sack in the game. How does that speak to the depth of the football team, especially the ability to get after the quarterback?
Oh, man. First thing coming to my mind is iron sharpen iron. Everybody's competing on a daily basis with practice, but it's also we compete in the games to, get to that quarterback, and they all having fun. So right now we having fun in the backfield.
What's the mentality the defense is playing with right now?
Mentality of the defense is making sure we keep up our standard. Our standard is our standard, and that's to try to, if somebody is in front of us, we want to make sure that we dominate on every single down.
Coming into this game, I know there was a focus on making sure you could get after the quarterback the way he played last week in the second half, his ability in the pocket. How important was it to disrupt their offense by getting in the backfield?
Man, when you get them to second and long,
yep,
then that's where you can be able to get up after the quarterback. And we got our TFLs early, and they had to sit back there and throw. And then when you let them ends and them inside guys go, I mean, we're going to have a party in the backfield.
Here's a good stat for you, Dion. The average third down today for Northwestern was 9.7 yards. When you get a team behind the sticks like that, what's that allow a defense to do from that attacking mentality standpoint?
I ain't no guessing whether it's run or pass. You getting off on the ball, and it's in one goal, make sure that quarterback is down.
Same thing with the run game. It seems like this defensive front right now, front 7, doing a great job controlling the run. Northwestern today just 2.8 yards per play, and really were able to stymie that running game, negative 10 yards in the first half.
Yes, sir. I mean, like I'm gonna keep saying it over and over again. That's the standard. That's the standard. I mean, that's what I'm striving for, yep, and that's what Coach Diaz strives for, and that's what Coach Franklin strives for on a daily basis. That the standard is high, and that's our expectations.
And then the offense is able to capitalize on that complementary football, taking the ball and punching it in for points, or Alex Felkin's delivering for points, and that's the entire goal with this team right now. If one area is having a great game, then the other area is going to complement it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I mean, that's complementary football, and I'm going to keep saying the standard is the standard. There's high expectations.
You're a great quote, Dion.
Yes, sir.
Dion, congratulations on a great win. Bye week coming up, and then we look forward to the team going 1-0, hopefully
sir,
at home again against UMass. Thanks so much.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you
Penn
having me.
State defensive line coach Dion Barnes joining us here post-game as the Nittany Lions defeat Northwestern by a 41-13 final score and improve to 5-0 here on the 2023 season. Again, a bye week next, and then Penn State back at home. Man, look at that. Beaver Stadium glistening today. The rain's moved on out. We're going to be flying back in, sunny skies in Happy Valley. Can't wait to get back to Beaver Stadium and play in front of 110,000 plus again when the Nittany Lions host UMass for homecoming and then resume Big Ten play after that. Always impressive to go on the road and win in the Big Ten, and that's what Penn State does today here in Evanston by a 41-13 final score. You're watching live coverage here exclusively on the Unrivaled post-game show from the bowels of the stadium at Ryan Field. The last time that Penn State's going to play in this edition of Ryan Field. Significant renovations and a rebuild of the stadium is upcoming. I'm Brian Tripp. Thanks for being with us here today. Let us know in those comments your thoughts on Penn State's great second half performance. Again, a 38-3 run in this football game. Also, let us know where you're watching from. We'd love to hear from you. Again, no Unrivaled weekly preview coming up this week on the bye week, but then we'll be back with you the following Wednesday when Penn State gets set to take on UMass. So the Nittany Lions win it by a 41-13 final score here today. We're going to get one more guest with us here, I believe, coming up, and then we will say farewell from Evanston. But our thanks already to Trey Potts on the offensive side of the football, defensive line coach Dion Barnes. We'll get one more guest for you, and then we will say so long from Evanston. Appreciate all those comments. Sally, thank you. Appreciate you watching. Defense, best in the country. Diana, I love that comment right there. Everyone's saying, Emery, Chris, Dennis, way to go, Penn State. Mickey giving Penn State a shout out. Patty, Legends in Clearfield, Pennsylvania. Hi, how's it going, Patty? Thanks for watching the Unrivaled postgame show here today as Penn State defeats Northwestern by a 41-13 final score. I think we'll have our last guest coming up here in just a moment. Again, we'll run through some of those stats from the game. Drew Aller, 18 of 33, 1 passing touchdown, 1 rushing touchdown. Nicholas Singleton, 21 carries, 80 yards and a touchdown, and a team-high 6 receptions, 39 yards and a touchdown. I believe with those 6 catches today, Singleton surpasses his reception total from a year ago. He's been very involved himself, Katron Allen, Trey Potts, who's excellent out of the backfield catching the football. They've been very involved in the passing game this season. And then on the defensive side, at least a half a sack for 8 players: Zane Durant, Kobe King, Denai Dennis Sutton, Amin Vanover, Keon Wiley, Zariah Fisher, Adisa Isaac, Keziah Izzard, and then the one takeaway, a pick in this game for Daquan Hardy as the Nittany Lions go on the road and come back for the first time this year to beat Northwestern 41-13. Penn State, the 6th-ranked team in the country. Appreciate all those comments. Yes, that's right, Alyssa. I got a haircut for this trip. Michael, appreciate you chiming in. Let us know where you're watching from as well. Great work back in our headquarters as well by Ross Woomer and also Alyssa Wagner back in Happy Valley watching this game from afar today. Looks like a gorgeous day. Can't wait to get back there. Believe we're going to get one more guest in here. Believe we're getting one more here before we sign off. Teams filing out of the locker room. Coach Franklin just went by. He did his post-game press conference, and then we'll get one more guest here on the Unrivaled post-game show before the team flies on out and flies back home victorious. Don't forget, coming up, still stay tuned to those Penn State social media channels for Penn State football at Penn State FBALL. We'll have the 1-0 cams coming up again this week. The win cam. I saw them posted outside the locker room. There's some great celebrations in that win cam again this week. The fans were great here on the road inside Ryan Field as they watched their Nittany Lions victorious by a 41-13 final score here today. We'll wait another minute here. I believe we're going to get one more guest in here. We'll wait one more minute. If we don't have anyone, we'll pack on up and head on out. Maybe I think we might be getting deep dish pizza post-game. We might be getting deep dish pizza here post-game. That'd be pretty good from Chicago, Chi-Town, the Windy City. 80 degrees today. Felt good out there. I made sure I wore a hat. I made sure this thing didn't get burnt out there on the field today, but I think we're going to get one more guest in here and talk some defense. There was a little breeze blowing off the lake, and that is what makes Alex Felkin's pair of field goals that much more impressive today. And Penn State, again, played a pretty clean, complimentary football game. There you see Felkins knotting the game at 3 in the late first quarter. That was a chip shot for Alex, but then I thought his 46-yard kick, which was kind of into the wind was coming across at Alex Felkins, gave him a little bit more trouble, but he nailed it and didn't have any issue kicking that football. And again, Penn State with a 41-13 win over Northwestern here today. And we are going to, hold on one second. This is live broadcast, folks. You're getting everything you want. Again, love reading your comments. Thank you very much. I think we're supposed to be getting one more defensive guest here. We are looking. Maybe not. Maybe Dion Barnes and Trey Potts will be it today. It might be it today. Hey, we're just trying to get out of here. Wait, here we go. I think we got one more guest coming our way. I don't want to say farewell. We can get one more guest. Appreciate Ross Woomer back in our studio and Alyssa Wagner for directing this thing. Post-game, we're live. You never know what's going to happen here. Never know. Appreciate you guys tuning in once again here after the game. So we are, I believe, getting one more guest. I'm looking over, not distracted. I'm looking over to see if we are getting that one more guest. We're right outside the locker room. The tunnel here, it goes right up off the field, up the hill, and then the Penn State tunnel, small locker room off to the side, and then the buses will be right outside, take us off to the airport to fly back home here post-game. So appreciate everyone sticking with us here after the game. Believe we are getting one more guest. Hey, Jared, you're watching from Rome, Italy. Thank you, Jared. John, Kennesaw, Georgia. Thank you. Lizzie, happy birthday. Thanks for watching our Unrivaled post-game show here after the game. I'm Brian Tripp, filling as much time as humanly possible here after the game until we get our next guest here on set. So I believe we're going to get our next guest in here. All right. Yeah, it does smell good out here. Now, what's the food post-game today, Kobe?
I think we got I see pizza, and I think it's sandwiches over here. So, we got some options today.
Yeah, but you're from Detroit. So is it Detroit or Chicago-style pizza? What's better?
Detroit. I don't think I ever had Chicago-style pizza. No, actually, we do got a Chicago-style pizza restaurant in our city. So, yeah, but I still say Detroit because, hometown.
We waited for this analysis from Kobe King here on the Unrivaled post-game show. Kobe, your defensive performance today, how would you evaluate the play of the defense?
I would say we kind of played up to our standard, like with it being a little difficult in the beginning, but, we stayed strong and we knew what we had to do, and, we just had to do our job.
How is the defense continually able to get so much pressure on the quarterback and make plays in the backfield?
I would just say guys doing their job, what allows other guys to open up and make plays for them. So yeah, I would say that just guys doing the job and being locked in on the details of the defense and the scheme.
How is the defense able to set a tone with its physicality to a football game? Because I know we've seen that over the last couple of weeks.
I would say some tone setters, sacks, TFLs, big hits, and just kind of plays that create havoc for the other team. So yeah.
And you're feeding off each other, it feels like, on that defense, because there's so many different guys that are creating those plays. Mm-hmm. How would you explain the brotherhood your defense has?
Oh, man. Sometimes it just feels special, just like when somebody else makes a play and you see them, and like the energy and emotion you have towards that player. It's just special to see other guys make the play, knowing that you kind of helped them out, or that y'all kind of studied it during the week. But it always feels special watching someone on the defense with you making plays.
I know you want to get that food. I know we want to get out of here, get back to Happy Valley, but I got one last question for you. We have people watching all the way from Rome, Italy today here on the Unrivaled postgame show. What's your message to Penn State fans after watching your team go 1-0 this week?
Hey, we love you guys. They're in Rome right now.
Rome, Italy, Kennesaw, Georgia. It's Lizzie's birthday here today.
Hey, happy birthday, Lizzie. But we love you guys. Thanks for supporting us always. And, we are 1-0. We're going to be back next week. Well, the week after next. So there we go.
The bye week. You're ready for the bye week?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Kobe, really appreciate it. Congratulations on a great win today.
Thank
Kobe
you.
King joining us here post-game on the Unrivaled post-game show. I'll let you head on out of here. I'm going to say farewell to all these great fans. Kobe, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Kobe King joining us here post-game. Penn State defeats Northwestern 41-13. I'm Brian Tripp saying so long from Evanston. Thanks for tuning in to the Unrivaled post-game show exclusively here after the game. We are